Joni Ernst is running for Tom Harkin's Senate seat in Iowa. She's a Republican, and she released an epic campaign ad from deep in that right-wing bubble. Listen to this.
I'm Joni Ernst. I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm. So when I get to Washington, I'll know how to cut pork.
Joni Ernst, mother, soldier, conservative.
My parents taught us to live within our means. It's time to force Washington to do the same. To cut wasteful spending, repeal Obamacare, and balance the budget. I'm Joni Ernst, and I approve this message because Washington's full of big spenders. Let's make them squeal.
Oh, come on, man. That has to be one of the best ads I've ever seen in my life. That's actually, it's really demeaning to, like, your average Republicans. Because, like, the idea that they're putting forward there is, well, obviously these idiots will respond if we put some oinking noises in the background and some cheesy, folksy music. And we have you talking about, I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm. Like, all the Republicans will be like, I'm going to vote for her now. Oh, she got me. You hear what she said? Oh, she said she was going to castrate some hogs and cut some spending. I'm all for it. Yee-haw! Give me some more of that music in the background now. Like, it's so condescending. Like what? They're totally incapable of thinking about serious issues? And furthermore, I mean, putting aside the cheesy music, which made my day, putting aside the oinking noises, which made my day, putting aside the most awesome quote ever from a political ad in history, quote, I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm. Oh, well, golly, you probably deserve to be in the Senate then. Whenever I think of castrating things, I think, you know, they would probably do a good job in public service. The fuck does castrating have to do with that? Anyway, putting all that aside, it's silly on the little substance that's in there, too. Because, you know, the thought that, and this is what a lot of conservatives naively think because they don't know anything about economics and they never decided to learn about it and read about it and listen to the experts and the actual economists. But this idea that a balanced budget is just, of course, a good thing, like just a nonchalant, you don't even need to read about it. Just, of course it's a good thing, obviously. You do a balanced budget amendment and you make them act like they're a house. Like, you have to balance your budget. This is what they always say. You have to balance your budget. Why can't Washington balance its budget? Well, where do I begin? For one, if we did have a balanced budget amendment and we made the federal government have no national debt, you know what would happen? A depression. 18% unemployment. Whoops. So you know how conservatives always scream about, what we need is more jobs. We got to get this economy going. We need more capitalism, free up the marketplace, get more jobs out there. That's what we got to do. President Obama got to learn that. Well, there's a problem. That talking point meshes directly with their other talking point. Their other talking point is, well, we got to balance the budget, got to lower that deficit, got to reduce that debt. That's what we got to do now. We got to be fiscal conservatives. That's right. Well, wait a second. You can't have it both ways. You can't. Either you try to eliminate the deficit or try to lower the national debt, and if you actually have a balanced budget, 18% unemployment follows, okay? Either you try to do that, or you try to focus on jobs. Jobs requires spending. Spending would increase the debt. So you can't have it both ways. So, you know, this is the problem with so many of these conservatives is they think like, oh, I'm in favor of common sense, man. I shoot from the hip. I speak from the gut. I don't need to read nothing about nothing. But that's the problem with that way of thinking. That what you think is common sense isn't actually common sense. It's actually just wrong in many cases. It's actually dangerous in many cases.